Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to session number 5 of the C section. We're starting off with double kettlebell clean and squat. So this one here is a doozy. This is a tough exercise. Because you're going with 2 kettlebells, be mindful of the weight that you're using. So here I'm gonna step over the kettlebell and I'm going to clean both kettlebells up to my shoulders in a rack position and kind of sit into the squat position right after that. So once you get the movement down packed, it should be integrated, all done together and look like this. So clean, sit into a squat, control it on the way back up. Keep it close to the body. Notice how I favor a wide base on this one as well, so that I can allow both of those kettlebells to go through. Keep it nice and tight. And don't hold the kettlebell too tight, because otherwise you're gonna have a hard time transitioning those kettlebells around and it'll probably end up banging your wrist, and we do not want that. Right after that, we're gonna walk over here and do some floor presses with these 2 dumbbells here. One of my favorite exercises to do if my shoulder's bothering me, or if it isn't actually. So here, what I like to do in terms of the setup, I grab the dumbbell, pin my elbow to the ground, lean the dumbbell into my leg, and then I kick it up. I do the same thing on the other side. And from here, ready to get started, I'm gonna press towards the ceiling. I like to keep the dumbbells at a 45 degree. It's a little easier on the shoulders, and you get an even distribution between chest and triceps at that angle. And that's your dumbbell floor press. Make sure those elbows go all the way down every single time. And then right after that, we're going to our seated cable pull down. So this falls into the category of a bilateral vertical pull. So here we're using our wider grips here, and I'm gonna go in a supinated or semi-supinated position where my hands are slightly favoring or facing me, and I'm gonna sit in front of the cable machine. And I'm doing this on the ground just because the cable machine is not that tall, so it'll hit the very top if I do that. So I'm going to lengthen my arms as much as possible, drop my shoulder blades, pull, mainly thinking about my elbows here, squeeze the armpits at the bottom, and release, full stretch on the way up. Once again, guys, think about pulling with the elbows as opposed to pulling with the hands, because then you'll turn it into a bicep curl and you won't get as much out of your lats. So full stretch, squeeze the armpits at the bottom, and that's your pull down. Right after that, guys, we're gonna go to our traveling 45 degree jumps into our kneeling Arnold press. So for the traveling 45 degree jumps, whatever distance you have to work with, you can go down and back. You can go one long trip down, get creative with that, just work with what you got. Here I'm going to jump at a 45 degree angle, and the leg that I land on, I'm going to load that leg as well. So I'm gonna sit into that landing. Notice how I use my leg to really propel my body in the direction that I wanna go in. Load and explode at a 45 degree angle. So that's what that looks like. We're gonna move on to our Arnold press. This is gonna be done kneeling. I have both knees down on this cushion here, squeezing the glutes. Palms are facing me at the bottom, and then they're gonna face the wall at the top. And I'm turning those dumbbells as I press. Not flipping and lowering, flipping and pressing. They're happening at the same time. Breathe out on the way up, inhale on the way down. All right, so that's your kneeling Arnold press, keeping that core nice and tight, glutes engaged. Right after that, guys, we have a dumbbell pullover from the bench. So here, I'm gonna show you 2 ways you can do this as well. I like to do this with my feet on the ground, but there are some people that feel more comfortable with their feet on the bench. However you decide to do this, make sure you press your rib cage down into the bench to really activate your abs. And what you'll notice is I have my fingers in this diamond shape. So here, clamp onto that dumbbell, palms up to the ceiling, squeeze the glutes, press the back into the bench, slight bend at the elbows, and try to get your arms next to your ears, and then back Bring that dumbbell back over your chest here, and pull it over. Do that for the designated number of repetitions, and we're moving on. Right after that, we have Swiss ball, cable, Russian twist. So here, we're gonna grab a Swiss ball that's not too big, because otherwise it'll be really hard to get your hands around it. You're not gonna get your hands all the way around it, but you don't want this too big either. So here, I like to grab the cable first and then position the ball. Well, first thing you want to actually do is make sure the cable is positioned at about anywhere between belly button and shoulder height. I'm gonna knock this one up one more notch. So from here, I grab the cable and then keep my knees slightly bent. And from here, I'm gonna pivot onto the feet. Notice how that cable is traveling in a straight line here, keeping it horizontal. Pivot the feet in each direction. If that happens, you gotta step a little bit closer to the cable machine. You're gonna do that for the designated number of repetitions on one side, same thing on the other. And then right after that, we're gonna finish off with our Woodway sprint on the treadmill. So here, this treadmill is self-powered, so be careful as you step onto it. You wanna make sure that you can really pick up your speed in a way that you can control it. The higher up you step, the faster the movement will initiate. So I like to start walking first just to get a feel for it, and then I go into a jog, and then I go into a sprint. So that is the last exercise of this workout, and we'll see you guys in the next one.